Hey guys, what's up? merKado is here with a new tutorial. I know I haven't been here for a while, but I came back. I have much more tutorials to come, so please join me to this tutorial and to our next, and I hope it will help you and make your music better. So without further talking, let's begin. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a rhythm, a beat that we already did before, and you already heard this beat at the movie intro. We're talking about this Prodigy No Good For Me remix you heard, and we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's begin. So what I have here is a beat I built before, made out of kick, snare, 2 hi-hats, 1 open hi-hat, crash and tom. Like I said, nothing fancy, just a regular 128 BPM beat. So first of all, let's hear it. So this is our main loop. 2 things I already did in this beat and I think are important is, first of all, I played a little bit with the gain, as you can see here, the automation, especially on the hi-hats, on both of them, just to give it more natural feel, so it won't feel like a computer playing it like you can hear now. So that's the first thing I did. The second thing I did was to play with the sample and maybe try to reverse some of the sample. Sometimes it feels right, sometimes it makes a little bit more interesting sound. If you're not sure how to reverse, you just double click on the sample and press here on the reverse button and it will reverse the sample. So I did it here on the open hi-hat, as you can hear, and I think I did it also here on the tom. Yeah, that's a cool sound. So basically those 2 is a thing I already did and you can try to do at your beats. So now let's add stuff to make these beats a little bit more interesting. The first thing we're going to add is some white noise over the snare. Right now the snare is punchy and it's nice, as you can hear, but it's missing this white reverb tail that usually have, especially in the dubstep genre. I believe it's not good always, but it's nice to glue things together, so I'm going to show you how I do it usually. So I created a new MIDI channel. I'm going to call it white snare and put it the white color so it will be easier. Then I'm going to use massive for this. So we have massive, and I'm going to open the white noise patch I already did before. So now I have just a white noise patch, and I'm going to take 1 snare and insert a MIDI clip of white noise after the snare. Next thing I'm going to do is put an auto filter on it, just so I can cut all the low frequencies, and I think I will cut everything till maybe 9,000. Oops, 9,000. So let's hear it. Yeah, maybe a little bit less, 8,500. Yeah, that sounds right. Now I want to make it as stereo as possible, so I'm going to put all this stereo stuff I can put on it to make it a little bit more stereo, which is the reverb. And I'm also going to use the dimension expander. I already showed you this plugin before at the free plugin, so you can go to that video, and it's a free one and it's doing a really nice job. Let's play a little bit with buttons here. Yeah, I think I like it. And now what we're going to do is to add a utility on it. On this thing I like to put the utility before the reverbs, like between the auto filter and the reverb, so it won't affect the reverb. And I'm going to put an automation, yeah, over the reverb, and I'm going to create some falling after the snare, so let's hear both of them together. Yeah, that makes the job. And we'll put it in white, put a little bit coarse on it, so it give it more stereo feeling. Basically that's it. So now I'm going to duplicate it and put it under each snare I have, and you can hear the difference with and without the white noise. So the second thing we're going to do to make this beat a little bit more interesting is to use another white noise over it to add some feel again to this original beat, but this time the white noise will have some rhythm itself, and it should again glue stuff together and make it some more and give it some more interesting sound. So the technique we're going to use is very similar to the LFO tool. You can go to the website and read about this plugin if you don't know it already. It's a very cool one, and I use it a lot. But this time we're going to use only Ableton to mimic the same idea. So I open a MIDI track, and everything is a little bit slow because my computer is working very hard right now to recording everything. I'm going to insert a MIDI clip and just pick a random note and put it all over our beat. Next thing I'm going to do is open a Massive, and I'm going to use Massive to make the white noise. You can use whatever you like or whatever you use to make your white noises. I'm also going to upload this patch, this Massive patch, so you can download it for free and enjoy and use it in your tracks. So what we have here is just a long white noise, as you can hear. Okay, next thing we're going to do is add auto filter on it. This is the auto filter, and the utility on it. We'll cut all the lows. I think around 500 will be fine, and we're going over the gain. We press the gain, right click and show modulation. Here in the modulation you can see that the envelope is connected to the utility gain. So now using the control key and the 1 number and 2 number, you can see I can change the grid. You can also do it from here with your right key over the grid and choose whatever grid you like, but I think the shortcut is a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to make the grid not really big, but I think every quarter is pretty fine. And then pressing the B button, I get this pencil, and I'm going to make some chess thing, and let's hear what we have. From now on I'm going to play with the grid and play with the sound here till I get some interesting cool rhythm. So let's do it and see what we get. Okay, so I have something here. I'm pretty happy with it. It sounds like this. Maybe I put it with the metronome. And next thing I'm going to do is to basically do the same but this time with the auto filter. I'm going to play here with the frequency shifter here with the frequency control. So again I'm going to make show modulation and make sure the autofill here is selected here in the envelopes, and I'm going to play with it again till I find some cool interesting bit. So next thing I'm going to do is do the same this time with that panorama thing here to control the left and right of this, again just to make it a little bit more interesting. I finish with the left and right thing. Next thing I'm going to do is again put reverb on it, dimension expand on it, and maybe send it through channels so it will be a little bit more interesting. So let's add a reverb. Let's also put the dimension expander on it. Maybe we can also give it a little bit of course. So now I have something that I'm pretty happy about it. Let's hear how it sounds together with the entire bit. You can definitely hear that it's not sound so good because I still have some parts that I need to fix, that it won't fit our original beat. So I'm going to fix those parts and I come back in a minute. So you can hear that this beat is definitely more lively than the original one. It has some interesting stuff on the back. Of course, we need to play a little bit here with the volume, maybe a little bit more with the reverbs and stuff, and of course we need to sidechain stuff, make sure everything has its own place. Talking about the frequencies, so nothing interrupt, especially with the snare and the kick. Another last thing you can do is sometimes you'll see that this white noise is eating space out of your snare, so you can zoom in and make it enter only a little bit after the main a little bit after the sound of the snare. That way it won't eat the punch out of your snare. Yeah, I think that sounds much better, so I'm going to copy and duplicate it to all the other snares. So basically that's it for today. I hope you like it. If you did, please leave comments below, let me know, and of course don't forget to subscribe. My name was merKado. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.